These are the contents which I'm going to cover in my presentation. Overview, goals of internship, full stack development, MERN stack, architecture and design, working of a website, project details, technologies used, project live demo, and finally the conclusion. Overview. Full stack development is a rapidly growing field in technology involving work on both the front end and back end of web applications. A full stack developer needs a deep understanding of various technologies and programming languages, including HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js, and MongoDB. In our internship, we utilized these technologies to build and manage complete web applications, gaining practical experience across the entire development process. Goals of internship: gain foundational knowledge in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build and style web applications. Acquire a solid understanding of MongoDB, ExpressJS, React.js, and Node.js by working with these technologies in a real project. Develop practical skills in both front-end and back-end development by building and integrating features for the Order It food ordering system. Full stack development. Full stack development is the process of designing, creating, and testing a complete web application. It involves working with a range of technologies and tools, including both front-end and back-end components. Full stack developers are responsible for the entire development process, from initial design and coding to deployment and maintenance. They work with various technologies such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end and server side languages like Node.js, Python, or Ruby for the backend. Now, these are the front end technologies that we have used. HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, is a standard language used to create and structure content on web pages. It defines the layout and elements like text, images, and links. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a language used to style and lay out the web pages. It controls the design, including colors, fonts, spacing, and positioning of elements, enhancing the HTML content. JavaScript is a programming language used to create interactive and dynamic content on web pages. It enables features like animations, form validations, and real-time updates, enhancing the user experience. A good analogy to understand the role of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is to consider them as skeleton, beauty, and brain respectively. Just like a skeleton, HTML provides the structure to a web page. CSS is like a beauty product which enhances the appearance of a website. And finally, JavaScript is like the brain that adds interactivity and functionality to the website and enhances the user experience. MERN stack development. MERN stack is a popular JavaScript framework that is used for building the web applications. It is an acronym for MongoDB, ExpressJS, React.js, and Node.js. Each component of the stack plays a specific role, and it is designed to make the development process smoother and easier. Now we will see the role of each component. MongoDB is the database which stores the data in a flexible format. It stores the database in NoSQL using importing JSON files. Next component is the ExpressJS. It is a web framework that simplifies building the backend logic. It handles the HTTP requests, routing, and interaction with the database. Next component is React.js. It is used to build the front-end user interface of the application. It also handles user interactions. And finally, Node.js. Node.js is the backend of the application. It serves as the runtime environment that allows JavaScript to run on the server. It also enables communication between front-end and backend. Architecture and design. This diagram depicts the architecture of the MERN stack application, which we will try to understand with the help of a simple example of a blog website. Imagine a blog website where users can read, create, and comment on posts. React.js is used to build the user interface of the blog. It handles what users see on web pages, such as the list of blog posts, forms for submitting new posts, and comment sections. React allows for dynamic, responsive, and interactive UI. ExpressJS works on the server side to handle incoming requests from the front end. It manages routing, meaning it directs the user's actions to the correct part of the server where the data will be processed. Node.js is a runtime environment that allows JavaScript to be used on the server side. It lets ExpressJS handle requests and interact with the database. When the user submits a new blog post, Node.js executes the server-side logic written in JavaScript to process that request. After the user submits a blog post, the content needs to be stored somewhere so that it can be retrieved later. So for that purpose, we use MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database that stores the data from the blog posts. It organizes the posts into collections and documents, making it easy to store, retrieve, and manipulate data. When the server receives a new post from the front end, it sends the data to MongoDB to be stored. Working of a website. This image provides a brief overview of how a website works when a user tries to access it by entering a URL in their web browser. Here is an explanation of each step shown in the diagram. The user opens a web browser and types in a URL. This URL represents the address of the website that the user wants to visit. After entering the URL, the web browser sends a request for the website. This request includes the URL that the user entered. The DNS domain name system server receives the request and translates the human readable URL into an IP address, which is a numeric address that identifies the server where the website is hosted. This translation is necessary because the web works on IP addresses. Once the IP address is obtained, the browser sends a request to the web server at that IP address. The request asks for the content of the web page. The web server receives the request and starts assembling the web page data. It then sends an OK200 status code back to the browser, indicating that the request was successful. After that, the server begins sending the data packets that contain the website content. The data packets sent by the web server are received by the browser, which assembles them to construct the web page. Finally, the assembled web page is rendered by the browser and the user sees the fully loaded website, such as the home page of a MERN taxi. Project details. The project was all about building an online food ordering system from scratch. The project Order It is a food ordering system developed using the MERN stack. Technologies used. Apart from the MERN stack, we have used two important technologies in this project, Mailtrap and Stripe. Mailtrap is a website to send mails and receive mails. We will be using this in case of forget password. And Stripe is used to process the payments. Now let's jump on to the project live demo. First of all, I will open my VS Code. Here I've opened the food order project folder. We will open front end and back end in two separate terminals. Like this. So first of all, we will start the backend using command npm start. As you can see, our database is connected. Similarly, we will start the front end using the same command npm start. Now our web application will be hosted on our browser on localhost 3000 server. This is the home page of our food ordering website. This is the logo of the food ordering website. This is the search bar where we can search for restaurants. This is the cart button where we can see the number of items in our cart. And this is the login button. Here, as you can see, that there are 8 restaurants in total. Each restaurant is represented using a photograph, the name of the restaurant, the address of the restaurant, the ratings, and the number of reviews. We have a few sorting functionalities as well. Suppose we want only pure vegetarian restaurants to be displayed. We can click here and this will show only the pure vegetarian restaurants. If we want to sort our restaurants by reviews, we can click here and this will sort our restaurants by the number of reviews. We can also sort our restaurants by the number of ratings. Now inside each restaurant, we have a lot of subsections. For each dish, there is an image, the name of the dish, its description, its price, an add to cart button, and status, which shows whether it's in stock or not. Let me go back to the home page again. Now I'll log in here. Here we can log in using our email and password, but I will register using this option. If you are a new user, you cannot log in. You first have to register. So register using, give some dummy name, an email, give some easy password, a random phone number. You can choose your avatar from your local file system, but I'll keep it as it is. And now click on register. Yeah. Now click on register. As you can see, the changes have been reflected here. I am logged into the restaurant now. On clicking, we can see a drop-down menu appears. with three options: orders, profile, and logout. If we click on orders, this opens our orders page. It shows the orders that we have done so far. We can also vary the number of entries as per our wish. The second option is the profile page. Here we have our avatar, a welcome message, full name, email address, and our joining date. We can also edit our profile. Let me change my name to something else, real name, and let me update it. User updated successfully, and you can see the changes here. Now let me add some items to the cart. As you can see, whenever I click on add to cart button, we get a pop-up message here which says item added to cart, and it vanishes after a few seconds. Let me proceed to cart. We can see the items, their price, and their quantity. If we want, we can also vary quantity from here as well. Or if we want, we can delete an item altogether. Let me vary this quantity. We can see the order summary, the total number of units, and total price. After clicking on checkout button, we will be redirected to Stripe payment gateway, some dummy name and dummy address. Enter your card details. And your CVC. Click on pay. The payment is being processed. After successful payment, we get a confirmation message like this. Let me go to